More bags and buckets and all kinds of stuff in the pantry. I was working on my mailbox. I'm working on your job security. And don't drive by. But they know they're going to expect them to come up.
There's a picture of somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's a post office right on the wall. That's what
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hampton City Council meeting for December the 11th, 2018. Open ceremony called to order. Invocation by Police Chaplain Craig McAdams. Is he here? Oh, there he is. And the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by the Hampton City Police Department. Pastor Craig.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for the blessings we have in our lives. We're so thankful for the freedoms that we have in our lives, Father, the freedom we have in this country, the freedom we have to be citizens of this great community, and we thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. And our prayer, as always, Father, is that you would just honor this night and bless us throughout this night. Pray that your presence is felt throughout this night. We pray especially for our leadership and our leaders tonight, for our city council, for our mayor, for all those that will be presenting tonight. We just pray for your mighty hand to be upon them. Pray for wisdom, pray for grace, pray for unity, we pray for love. We just pray that you would be so evident tonight, God, that you would get all the honor and all the glory. We thank you for all those that serve, that protect our city and our families. We're so grateful for all that you have done and continue to do in Hampton. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, presentation and approval of City Council minutes, regular session held November the 13th, 2018.
Make a motion to approve the November.
May I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Moving on, special call meeting, November the 13th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve special call meeting November 13th, 2018.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Special call meeting, November the 27th, 2018. Okay, do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion and a first and second. All in favor? Pass 6-0. The budget workshop meeting, December the 6th, 2018.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we approve the December budget workshop meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Invited guests? Do you have any elected officials out there? Okay. Okay, we'll move on. Presentation to Employee of the Month. Chris?
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and staff and members of the public. The Employee Recognition Program distinguishes employees who perform above and beyond the expectations of their jobs with a superior level of integrity, commitment, collaboration, accountability, positive attitude, and ability to embrace change. Recipients are selected based on criteria such as employees that are highly engaged and committed to the mission and values of the City of Hampton. Employees that display a can-do attitude and go above and beyond in the extra mile. Employees that adapt and embrace change and look for ways to reinvent and develop themselves while continuing to provide a high level of value and commitment to the city. And individuals that function in a spirit of collaboration with other employees and residents. They have a clear understanding of professional accountability and are always looking to be part of the solution. Hunter Heisper was nominated for this prestigious, so we all get a chance to stare at you. So Hunter was nominated to this prestigious award by the Economic Development Department. Rebecca Brock was going to provide a summary of the nomination today, but unfortunately, she could not be with us due to personal reasons. So I will read to you a short synopsis of the nomination on her behalf. Hunter has been instrumental in helping the Main Street program. Since his first day with the City of Hampton, Hunter has been a pleasant, hard-working addition to the team. He has tirelessly worked to help his community, co-workers, and anyone he becomes in contact with. While balancing sports, school, and other 500 civic responsibilities, Hunter has dedicated himself to Hampton. The most recent example of this dedication was Saturday, December 1st, at the cookie decorating with Mrs. Claus. Hunter arrived at 8 a.m. and worked non-stop alongside other volunteers. He took the lead in several projects and he was bolstering morale. At the end of the event, a gas car had become stuck in the muddy grass behind the library. It gets better. Despite the pouring rain and freezing temperatures, Hunter gathered 2 other volunteers to rush to help. Hunter took the lead in organizing the rescue, and he continued to help despite falling into a giant puddle of red clay. It didn't matter that he was shivering from the cold or covered in mud. Hunter remained as positive as ever. Despite repeated attempts to send him home to get warm, Hunter continued to help the guests and then came back inside to offer help to the Main Street volunteers who were cleaning up the event. Hunter even offered to drive the young family whose car was stuck home and they couldn't be removed. This is just one of the many stories that showcase Hunter's dedication, hard work, perseverance, and radiant positivity. I wish that was all very contagious. Out of the 496 volunteer hours that Ms. Brooks oversaw since her tenure with the city, Hunter has contributed 44, and here it comes on her ward, counting neck to neck with her own husband, who contributed 56. Hunter has also given countless hours to the office of Okay, I will take the picture. Can't you take your own picture?
Thank you, Hunter, for a great job you're doing for the kids. Thank you. Okay. Public comments. We have Ms. Carrie Bodie signed up. If you'll please come forward. I believe Mom's got some words of wisdom for you.
Mr. Mayor, I had spoken to Laren earlier this week. This is one of my daughters, and she is on the leadership team with Henry County 4-H, and this is a leadership in action project she's doing. They actually, in the county, had not had a project of this magnitude, so it had to be approved through UGA before she came here. One thing I asked Laren was if I would need to remove myself from the room when she presented, and I would just like Laren to explain to her why I get to stay in while Kara talks.
So based on what I understood from Councilwoman Bodie about what the presentation would entail, the presentation is to be done, as Kara is a member of the 4-H club, correct? And based on how well she does and how 4-H determines, I guess, the winner of whose project meets their criteria, she could potentially win a scholarship. I don't know the amount of that scholarship, and so that's what begs the question is whether or not there is some conflict of interest for Ms. Bodie participating. My response was that I didn't think so. We looked through the ethics code with respect to conflict. This board is not going to be the determining factor as to whether Kara wins the scholarship or not. They're just an audience. She has to present to a governing body. And so because you guys won't be voting on her eligibility to win this scholarship, I thought that it would be okay for Ms. Bodie to stay. And because it's your daughter, and I know that it's important to hear how well she does, and I think the rules can be determined in a way that it makes it okay.
Thank you, ma'am. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me. Have you ever thought about what Hampton would be like with more chickens? What if I told you that owning 4, 6, or even 10 hens, you could live a healthier life? Hi, I'm Kara Bodie. I'm a Henry County 4-H team leader, and I've gotten permission from the University of Georgia to hopefully pass a law for my Leadership in Action project. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would somebody put farm animals in the city? Well, chicken owning has its benefits. You can have fresh eggs. When you go to a store and you buy a carton of eggs, they're usually 3 to 6 weeks old by the time they get into your house and into your refrigerator. But what if you had hens in your backyard where you could walk out and get an egg after 2 hours after it's been laid? So why should residents be allowed to have 6 hens? Right now, the city of Hampton follows the county ordinance law that you're only allowed to have 4 hens in the city limits. Well, if you had more chickens, you would have more fresh eggs that are healthy, with no steroids or antibiotics. In the caged hens, when you're buying eggs from the grocery store, the people that raise those hens put them up on steroids, and so they're laying at 2 to 3 months, when they're supposed to be laying around 6 months. You can have nice pets with it and an educational experience for your kids. Also, the chicken gets a nice, loving home. Having more chickens equals more egg production. Research has discovered there are more than 500 different breeds of hens. So, all laying different amounts of eggs a year. For example, the Rhode Island Reds lay an average of 200 to 300 eggs per year. So if a family of 4 has 4 Rhode Island Red hens, they would get 2 to 3 eggs per day on average. What if each of them eats 2 eggs a day? That would take 3 days of egg production to have enough for one breakfast. Is that enough for that family? No. Here you you'll see an image of one of my eggs, one of my chicken's eggs versus a store-bought egg. My chicken's egg is bigger because it has more access to grass, protein, and sunlight. Now, in the bigger bowl is my chicken's egg. I had cracked it. It's very interesting to look at it and see that it has a darker yolk because it has more access to sunlight and grass. The one in the smaller bowl is a store-bought egg. That is what you call a caged hen, where they have low access to sunlight and grass. The city of Hampton, Virginia's rules on owning chickens in the city limits on how they should be kept. Their animal control law section 5-24 Part C states every person maintaining a pullet or animal should keep the yard at the same clean and sanitary, free of all refuse, decaying, and experiments. So if anyone has chickens, they have the responsibility to keep their enclosure clean. If you look at the papers that I handed out to you, there's a flyer, and at the bottom it says that they could have the risk of losing their chickens if they are not kept right. I think the citizens of Hampton should be allowed one rooster. Roosters are beneficial in many ways, such as protection. They can also fight off possums, raccoons, and snakes. You can have fertilized eggs, so you can have chicks. You get a beautiful crow in the morning, every day, that most people enjoy. They also make the hens stay close, so you have no risk of losing your hens if you choose for them to be free range. Roosters do make noise. I know most people don't like it, but a dog inside the city limits is not allowed to bark for over 30 minutes. Roosters only crow for 5 to 6 minutes at a time. So, and a barking dog is considered a nuisance after that amount of time. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for being here. Is there any comments from the council? Oh, your mama wants you to tell us about this.
So that is an example of the flyer that would be left here for the citizens of the city of Hampton. If they would like to get more information on chicken owning, they can come pick that up, and it basically explains everything that they need to know.
Thank you. Ann?
I just wanted to ask, so you're asking the city to consider letting, people have 6 chickens with 1 rooster, being one of those 6?
Yes. Well, as you can see on your paper, there is a, for 0.25 acres, you are allowed to have 4 hens. And then for an acre, you can have 6 hens. And then for 1.25 acres, you can have 10 hens and a rooster at the maximum. And then chickens are considered chicken at 6 months of age, because chickens do need time to stay with their mom afterwards.
Any more comments from the council?
I'd like to, say great job. As a child, I had, I raised chickens, my family raised chickens, and we had Rhode Island Red, and I can attest to the fact that the eggs are much better than store-bought eggs, much better.
Ms. City Attorney,
Yes,
can you do some more research on this for us?
on the increase to 6?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay. And have this back on the docket in January?
Okay. I'll work with Kara to get it done.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Next, speaker is Mr. Brian Kiefer from Hampton Elementary Charter School. He called and said he cannot be here tonight, so we have postponed that to the January 2019 meeting. He will be here. Is there any other public comments? Mr. Lowe?
Good evening, Marty Lowe, 171 Lake Hampton Drive. I have 2 things tonight. One thing of a positive nature.
this Friday night, December the 14th, at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the schools in the Hampton School Cluster will be having a Christmas concert. This is 5 schools in the cluster, including the Hampton Elementary Charter School, middle school, Rocky Creek Elementary, and the high school, from 6 to 9 p.m. Yes, Rocky Creek. Yeah, that's also in the Hampton
Yeah.
cluster, due to the fact that there's no middle school or high school in that area. So. But anyway, they will do a combined choral Christmas concert. First time this has been attempted. Initially, they're going to try and do it at the high school, but when we started looking at the parking problems from those 5 schools and trying to get all those parents parked and moved around and everything, the Atlanta Motor Speedway has graciously allowed us to use their facility. The children will hopefully sing on the track. The bleacher area will be for there'll be a bouncy house, there'll be some food trucks, there'll be some other things too. So it runs from 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday night. Weather permitting, the weather gods have not been real happy with Hampton and Henry County for the past few weekends, and we once again have rain forecast, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. And again, the Motor Speedway has agreed to let us use the facilities for a very minimal amount of money. Second thing, I wish y'all would reconsider the decision to have the public hearing on the budget and the first reading of the ordinance for the budget on the same night. I would greatly appreciate it if you think about the citizens and their input, and at least the appearance of hearing them and paying attention to what they're saying. And my final thing, which I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but Kara makes one heck of a babysitter and pet sitter if anybody needs anything. Thank you.
Artie, we have put off the budget, first hearing will be December the 27th at 6 p.m. and public comments that will be the first reading.
First reading on the same night.
On the same night, yes.
Okay.
Any more public comment? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward and give your name and address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kathy Gibbs, 101 Madison Drive, Hampton. The last couple of meetings I brought up a concern regarding sidewalks. Safety. What I consider to be a safety need for our children that attend either the elementary school, the middle school, or the high school. And I know that I don't know whether or not that was something that I should bring up, or whether or not the city should already be aware of. And so as I was going through some paperwork, I ran across, I recall a little over a year ago, we had an election. And some of the city council members that are sitting here tonight, I remember talking to this one particular one. And I actually, and I'm not going to say the name or anything, because I have a couple of the flyers and bullet points of what they ran on. And I was one of the ones who was out there holding signs and going door to door, knocking on doors. And I supported quite a few of the Son of Talent. And I remember this one particular one on their card. My experience of resolving issues brings a new voice and different perspective in creating solutions. And their other goal was to keep the city financially healthy and sustainable. And so when I look at this particular card, I think about times I've attended the meeting, and I did not see a person who was well-versed and well familiar with the topics on the agenda. And I would think, as a city council person, if you had questions regarding the agenda, that would have been presented prior to the meeting. And so that's not what I've observed, and that's not what this individual has told me. And then there's another one, and I think this is so wonderful, because for the first time that I attended this meeting, I felt more camaraderie. People were happy, speaking, shaking hands, and for the most part, I don't see that here. I see that you have individual council members that primarily maybe only shake the hands of individuals on the other side. But I also remember reading this flyer, and when I saw this flyer on this particular individual, and I was like, this is wonderful, because this is what we need. Our children are our future. And again, we have one of our youth right here that was advocating for sidewalks and street lights and, a crosswalk. Okay, this particular individual said, most importantly, I want to be the voice of the residents of Hampton. Now, in here, there was no parens saying only some of them are the ones that I like or the ones that I know. It says, I promise to listen to any and all concerns and dedicate time to research these issues. Well, the primary issue I have, although, and I pay taxes, and I think this year our tax bill reflected $1,600 of my overall property tax bill is for the public school system. And so I may be a resident, but I don't believe it's my position that I have to go to the county about this. That members of the city council who say they listen, I need to see, it's one thing to have words, but action speaks louder than words. You know, people in council that used to be very friendly to me aren't anymore. I don't know why. I haven't said anything, I haven't done anything. But how I feel, you don't have to be my friend. I don't expect friends. But what I do expect for people, when they make commitments and promises and run for office, that they should carry out what they say, what they're going to do. And they should come prepared and don't waste our time as citizens, instead of asking questions at meetings. And so basically, my concerns still stand. I'm concerned about our youth. I mean, what I saw tonight, I have to applaud them. If I could just keep applying, because that's our future here. So I don't want to do anything that's not within the safety, health and safety of their well-being. I commend the young lady for that presentation. That's extremely difficult to stand up here and.
Ma'am, your time's up.
Huh?
Your time's up.
Oh, I still see that over there. I just wanted to comment about the young lady. The young lady, I applaud her. She needs to continue to do what she's doing because she is a good exemplary of her parents and also of what she can do in the future. And we need more children like that and the other gentleman right there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more comments? Please come forward and give your name. Mr. Williams?
Okay, this is Alfred Williams from 188 Kendall in Hampton, Georgia. This one, I already gave you each of the councilmen a copy of this. This is in reference to this form here. It's reference to transit peddlers permit. I believe last year, about a year and a half ago, really, we had a big discussion here about people coming into the neighborhood, and as they're coming to the neighborhood, we did not know who they were. So I guess this permit process is helping out a little bit identify who they are. But the problem we still have is when they're coming. For me to come out my house at 6:10, right before I come here, and I got a man at my front door, knocking on my door, asking me do I want a lawn system. Yes, I want a lawn system. I want to go off my property. But not only did he do it today, he did it yesterday, he did it the day before. So my wife being the HOA president, constantly gets these phone calls from other homeowners that says, we have a sign that says no soliciting. Why is this man in our community soliciting? The police called the police department. The police department came down, pulled the gentleman over, and he popped this out on me. He said, I have permission from the city of Hampton to be in your neighborhood. How is the city of Hampton giving someone permission to be in our neighborhood when we clearly say it is an HOA and it's no soliciting? The other portion is, that's one. Two, if you do have that much power, you need to put on their permit, you have from this time to this time to be in the neighborhood. Because in the state of Mississippi, as long as I keep them on my property, when the police get here, I'm good to go. All right?
Thank you, sir. Any more public comments? Mark?
Mark Whitley, 38 East Main Street North. Good evening. I actually just wanted to come in and briefly update you guys on a project that I haven't really discussed much in the last few months, but I kind of want to update you on West Main Street. the project came in with one project, but it's really two phases. The first phase being the installation of a new water line. And of course, that would also include the abandonment of the one other street currently. And then the second phase would be to widen the road slightly, add some curb and gutter and sidewalk. So those are two phases. The plans for both those phases are complete. They're ready to go. The processes that are currently underway is that we're working with the railroad to get the encroachment permit. They are currently reviewing that. Should be providing the paperwork to the city soon, so we can process that. And then the second process would be to move forward, obviously, with the project. And there's been some CDBG funding that's been promised to the city for that also. And I followed up with that, met with Henry County, discussed that, and they're telling me that the funds, even though they're not actually set into a bank waiting for the city of Hampton, that project is still on their list as an approved project. So they're telling us that if we decide to move forward with the project, we let them know the first part of next year, and the date they gave them was March 1st, and that project will be funded toward the end of next year. So I just want to update you guys so you would know where we stand on that, and that project is still moving forward until we do something.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Comment? Go ahead. Brown.
In reference to the CDBG fund,
Yes.
Is there any requirements of the city, we need to submit, or,
We will.
so you're handling that part of
Yes,
it?
by March 1st, when we decide that we're going through with it, we'll give them a verbal okay, and then we also will have to file some paperwork with that request.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Any more public comments? Come on up. Give us your name, address, and
I'll be brief. Mike Waffle, 1211 Pebble Rock Road. On tonight's agenda, Resolution 1837, which comes up for approval, says in part, and I quote, "Sufficient funds have been designated to assure the acquisition and/or development, operation, and maintenance of the facility and/or delivery of services as identified in said contract," end quote. Now, this is $100,000 that this resolution says has been designated. It wasn't in last year's budget. We don't have a budget for this year, and I'm wondering, how can the council designate funds in this manner that are simply not budgeted? That's my question.
thank you, sir. Any more public comment? Come on up.
Mile, 30 Rosie Road. I'll make it quick. New finance department? New. I've been here at every city council for the last 6 months. I've never heard it mentioned or brought up or voted on. How did we get this? When that's supposed to be the job of the city manager, which we presently don't have, and the council. So, what do we need? A new financial department, if you all are doing your job.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more comments? Don?
And on to 29 Don Street. I just wanted to recognize a couple of residents of Hampton who were recently deceased. I think Henry mentioned Mr. Robert Betts on the last meeting, former council member, a good and decent man, a great friend and neighbor. And Mary Johnson, who was employed with the city for approximately 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Any more public comments? Okay, closing out public comments, we'll go to reports from committees and departments. Anybody have a report from the committee or department? Any of our department heads, any report? There's none. Consent agenda, consideration of action of 2019 alcohol renew license. Background check on all businesses were completed. by the police department. Please see attached agenda covering from City Clerk Melissa Brooks, recommending approval. And let's see here. I need the following people to stand up when I call your business. Cheers. Anybody from Cheers? Okay. S&S Food Mart. Okay. Hampton Grocery. Okay, please say, y'all remain standing, please. Circle K. Circle K. Okay. Corner Food Market. Okay, please remain. Quick Mart. Okay. Terra Me Restaurant. The Chili Mexican Restaurant, I know you're here. Sticks. Please stand. Yumi Japanese Steakhouse, okay, and the Jailhouse Brewery. I need a motion from the council to approve all the beer licenses except for the two that did not show up. Three. For the three that did not show up.
Do we need to remove them from the consent agenda?
Is, their presence required for your approval?
Yep.
That's what you guys want? Yes, you would then need to take, them out.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we remove the Circle K, the Corner Food Mart, and
Yeah, corner of Kumar. Yeah.
Oh,
the Quick Mart and Pierre Mia from the consent agenda.
I'm second that motion.
All in favor? That's 6-0. Those three will be removed. I need a motion to approve, and Derek, you've done all the background.
Correct.
Okay. I need a motion to approve all the others.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Thank you for being here. Under old business, consideration of and action on the request for approval to adopt ordinance 470. This is the second reading of ordinance of the mayor and city council amending chapter 2, administrative article 7, code of ethics, section 2-309, receipt of complaint, 2-311, right to appeal to allow for the ethics committee to serve as the final decision makers for ethical complaints. Do I have a motion to approve or disapprove?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve this, resolution. Ordinance.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? I'm going to vote to not approve. Under new business, consideration of action on a request for approval to adopt Resolution 1837, accepting the terms of the Land and Water Conservation Fund matching grant in the amount of $100,000. Please see the attached resolution agenda cover from Director of Economic Development, James Bumpus, recommending approval. Mr. Bumpus?
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, this is for the construction of the East Hampton Community Park located on East King.
Okay.
And this matching funds for $100,000 grant that we received from the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
Okay. I need a motion to approve or disapprove.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve resolution 1837.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
This is on the property right behind the, senior center, correct?
That's correct.
Henry?
There's the $100,000 the city matches in the 2019 budget when it passes, it will be in.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Thompson. New business, consideration of an action on the request to amend section 4232, definition of the city of Hampton Code of Ordinance, specifying the definition of final standard. Please see the agenda cover for Director of Community Development Frank, and recommend approval. Ordinance will be provided. Frank, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. To give you a background on that, since February this year, the EPD has been requesting the city to amend that ordinance to the definition. We are basically updating as the EPD updates their ordinance. We are not adding anything, and that's basically the minimum requirements we need to follow. We are not being more stringent. We are just basically speaking what the EPD updated and using. In the section that's being updated, you can see that you mentioned somewhere 70%. Some counties and cities go even 100%, but at this point, we are only just updating to follow the EPD minimum standard.
I need a motion to approve or disapprove.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we approve section 42-32, of the city ordinance.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Thank you. Positive happening in our community, and I'll start with Councilman Brown, work our way down.
It's the holiday season, and I'd just like to wish everybody a pleasant holiday, whatever the denomination is. Please be safe, and look forward to seeing you all in January.
Councilman Bodie?
I just want to thank the mayor and council for hearing Kara tonight. She has always been encouraged by the mayor. She's known him since she was small to be involved in our community, and I enjoy seeing all the high schoolers here, the youth council, Hunter and Ivan, and I'm just appreciative of the kids being so involved in our community.
Councilman Turner?
I'd like to give recognition to the new people that we have on board. Job being well done. We see the progress, especially with the finance person bill. I know it's hard for y'all to start where you are, but it seems like we're headed in the right direction. Just keep doing your job. We'll be fine.
Mayor Pro Tem Tarpley?
So I want to give kudos to Chris Moore as the conductor of the Christmas parade. It was raining and it was cold, but he was committed to what he had said he would do. And rain, sleet, he was out there leading the parade, and he got our chief and got all of his cars out of the station to ride in the parade, because some had canceled. But I just want to give kudos to him for being committed to what he said he's going to do. We need more of it.
Councilman Mitchell?
Well, I want, with additional comments to our finance director. She did an awesome job to train the budget, and we have to get it, ready by the early January. Thank you.
Councilman Byrd?
I just wanted to thank all the city workers that got out in the rain and cold and worked for hours setting everything up for the Christmas parade.
Okay, back to me. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a prosperous New Year. I know we had an up and down this year, and we'll probably have our ups and downs in 2019, but thank you for being here and being at the council meeting. To the youth council, Hunter, y'all doing a great job. Continue, please. Y'all just have a Merry Christmas. Do we need an executive session? Yes, we do.
Mayor, make a motion that we move into executive session for the purpose of litigation, real estate, and personnel.
All in favor? Passed 6-0. We're in executive session at 19:14.